me clean my screen a bit. Okay, I think that's better. I think that's better. That's better. How are you guys doing? How are you doing today? All right. So, all right. I just want to share a bit of my life, a part of my life, really. How I jump started my film career and how I struck and won. Let me say how I won my first multi-million Naira deal. And I'm just going to go through the story. So then, of course, there are some steps that I listed out here. There were some things that I did that I would say the winning steps that any young person, even an adult, can apply these steps. If you apply these steps, you can repeat the same thing I achieved. I was just out of Yaba College of Technology then. I just finished my ND, and that year I was supposed to do my IT. I was able to strike a multi-million naira filmmaking deal. Then with Moving Movies, the late Amaka Igwe and the president, it was funded by the president of a big indigenous oil company. But that's a summary of everything. But what I want to do in this video is to highlight and take you through the step that I was 19 going on 20, a 19-year-old boy was able to do to achieve such a result. So this was what happened. I just left Yabatech, and that's a college of technology in Nigeria. In case you don't know the schools here. And I wrote an article that I sent to a newspaper, Vanguard newspaper, and a friend of mine came visiting. So Vanguard published that article, and then a friend of mine came visiting, and I showed him in the newspaper. I was excited that hey, I wrote an article, and the papers published it and all that. So when he read the story, he was like, "Guy, you have a gift here. Oh, that you're a writer, man. How did you put this together and all that?" So he told me he had an idea of a movie. I had an idea of a movie. Now, this is how network works. We're just friends that I had finished my ND in Yabatech, and he was just in his 200 in his ND2 in Yabatech. He was still in school. So he told me the story I had in mind, and then fascinating summary of the story I had in mind. He didn't even have an end, but he just gave me an idea of where it was going to. And in fact, that's when I discovered my gift for writing. Initially, I thought it was just fluke. The moment he told me that story, and from that time, over the next 2 weeks, I found myself writing and writing and writing. And in 2 weeks, I was done with a full movie script. In just 2 weeks of him sharing that idea with me, I was done with a full movie. Now, this was a 19-year-old young man, and my friend was about maybe 22 or so then, but he was still in Yabatech. I had left Yabatech. I was doing my ND. So I wrote the story. The next thing I typed, and the next thing we put it together. And then we had a friend of ours that was in Yabatech also, that was a nephew or a cousin to Amaka Igwe. Amaka Igwe was a very successful filmmaker, film director. And then, we went to see him. So now look at it from two guys, one of them discovering his talent, one of them encouraged the other one that, hey, you're good at writing. And then I wasn't lazy with it. He shared an idea of a story with me. I wrote it. And the next thing we're thinking connections. Because even if you're the best in the world, you still need connections. So he mentioned that there's a great filmmaker that has a nephew in his class in Yabatech. And we went to see the guy. We went to see him. And that same day, he took us to Allen Avenue by Oshopi. That's where Moving Movies was then. Moving Movies was the biggest export when it comes to filmmaking back then in Nigeria. If you are about my age or maybe older or a little younger, you'll remember Forever. You remember To Live Again. You remember, I'm trying to remember their films. You remember Rattlesnake. Wow. Rattlesnake was the bomb. You remember all these movies, great works out of their stables. So we went there and we went to see, I think in that meeting we saw Kate Henshaw, and we saw Kate Henshaw, and we saw Amaka Igwe, and we shared our script with them, and they liked it. So you see the first step. The first step is always the thank you, everyone. Thank you, Gaurav, Money Gamer. How are you? Thank you. Please drop super chats and super stickers for me. Get your super chat, super sticker, get for me. Gaurav, how are you doing? How are you doing? Yes, I'm talking about how I made my first, millions, how I struck my first multi-million naira deal as a teenager, going to 20. I was 19, going on 20, and I'm trying to use this to let us know that opportunities abound. There are just some very important uh, things that you need to do to be able to get these opportunities. Now, in my sharing so far, in this video so far, I've shown you the importance of discovering your gift, discovering what you are good at, the solution you are providing. The next thing was that I showed you the importance of connection, because it was through connection my friend told me, you can write, come on, write this movie. It was also through connection that we met Amaka Igwe back then at Allen Avenue, Magical Domi. It was through the connection of one of our friends in Yabatech. And now we now had to step out. It was time for to be bold. We didn't cower the fact that this was the biggest filmmaker at that time. I wasn't sure if she had done Forever the movie at that time. But Forever the movie was so big that it was during Abacha's time. The head of state, the head of state of Nigeria then, General Sani Abacha, gave her the permission to tour all the states in Nigeria, that all the first ladies should do a special screening of that movie. So this was someone making multi-millions, and here we are being told that we should come and meet her. Teenagers, oh, remember, teenagers. We went on to meet her. She got the script. She liked the idea. She didn't read, but she liked the idea. She liked our boldness. And so, what did we want from her? All we wanted from her was, ma, if we get the money to make this movie, will you direct it for us? We want your name on it. We want you directing it. We wanted the Antalanians on it. We wanted, we had our super part cast that we wanted on it. And we got that go ahead from her that, yes, you can use my name. You can take my name to your sponsors and say, yes, I'm the one that will direct this movie. Or more. When I got that day, fire, fire came. The fire were charged. And we now go back to our rooms, our hostel. I don't know where we went back to then. I was okay. So how are we going to get this project running? How are we going to get the money to pay Amaka Igwe? How are we going to get the money to pay Antalanio? The biggest names then. I think Shola Fosudo was also one of the actors we had in mind. How are we going to get the money? So we now had to go to an accountant. So are you saying we're very professional? The first thing was that before the accountant, we started asking our friends that, do you know anyone that can sponsor our movie? Do you know anyone that can sponsor our movie? So help came from the unlikeliest person, which was a friend of ours that was running a cleaning agency. So he now gave us names of some clients that he had. He gave us, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's a power outage. Jesus Pride. Quickly. Sorry about that. I'm just going to do a quick changeover and the power will be back. Just give me a second. The power is going to be put off the stab. The power is going to be right back now. The stab, leave the light, the stab. Changeover. All right, thank you. Quickly, very quickly. Let me just allow. All right, okay, I'm back. All right. So so we the help came from the most unlikeliest of places. Like I said, a friend of ours was running a cleaning agency, and so you need to know that your help, God is going to help you, but He's going to use men. So He gave us a list of some of His clients that He felt would want to support something like this. And He had the Coscaris, he was doing very well for himself. So He gave us a list of some of His clients that could support such, that had the kind of money. I think there was Nike Okundaye of Nike Art Gallery and all that. So out of all these guys was the president of an indigenous oil company. Big name, big man, amazing man. Now, I was the one that put a call through to him myself. I was bold, oh. Hey, I was bold. Not, I was bold, man. I was a bold. But I could go anywhere. And then armed with the fact that the biggest director in Nigeria as at that time, maybe the biggest names were Amaka Igwe, Tunde Kilani, as at that time, late 90s, early 2000s. That was the biggest name. So armed with the fact that one of the biggest names, Amaka Igwe, had agreed to direct my film, I was ready to enter anyone's office, call up anyone. So, so you need to see that that's one major trait you must have to make money. You must be bold. Oh. You must be as bold as a lion. You must go where every other person is afraid to go to. Once the person is a human being, you should be ready to face them. If they tell you now that Donald Trump wants to see you, you should be ready to go and present your case, present your business plan. And that was how I was. So I put a call through to him, and I put a call through to the company at Adeola Deku back then in VI. Then there was no cell phone, so I used the public booth, phone booth, and I put a call through. I said, please, I would like to speak with the president, and they call him president. I would like to speak with the president. And the lady said, who would like to speak with him? I said, Mr. I called my name. I said, I called my company's name also. They said, hold on. The next thing, I just said, I thought they were going to say call back or something. Next thing, I just said, hello. My heart jumped for a minute. Like, please like, subscribe. You're gonna enjoy tonight's live. I'm sharing real life practical steps of how I struck my first multi-million naira deal, and how you can apply some of these things that I did to yourself, to your kids, things you can teach them. And right now we're talking boldness. So it picked, and my heart just jumped. Like, I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting that. Just one call through to the company of a president of a multinational, and then the office, then they route me straight to him. Boom. And that was it. That was the beginning of our connection. So when I told him that we were young and we were driven and we wanted. Immediately I was speaking. He just cut in. He said, Am I talking to boys?" He said, Are you boys?" No, I said, "No, sir. We are young men and we're driven, and we have this beautiful film idea that we believe that your company should be part of, and it would be such a fantastic partnership between us and your company." I said, okay, 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 okay. Now watch this. This is another trick now that you're gonna get. Don't leave now. Subscribe and don't leave. Stay on now. Stay on now. Stay on. Ex-footballer. Stay on. Stay on. In I don't know what that name is. Ex-footballer. Stay on. Now, he said, see me in my office tomorrow by 6 a.m. 6 a.m. Victoria Island. I stayed on the mainland, the main inside mainland. How was that going to happen? Things are not like now that you have boats, you have rides, you have all that stuff, As in, does that mean I'm going to have to wake up maybe 4 a.m.? Then I'm going to be out of my house by 5 a.m.? The calculation was just eventually we agreed we were going to come. So we decided that we would all meet, we would all spend the night at Amaka Igwe Studios. Excuse me, myself, my partner, and Amaka Igwe's cousin, that did the connect, one of the cousins that did the connect. We said, okay, we'll spend the night at his house, a boys' quarter behind the studio, and then we would, from there, we would move to Ireland, which made it easier. It was still tough because we had to go there a night before. It wasn't comfortable staying in someone's house, someone you just barely met. But the goal was what we had inside. The goal, that was what was driving us. That was what was driving us. And we would just go from there. And then that was the first meeting. And then when we got there, we saw several people there to also see him. But our appointment was the first. I kid you guys not. We got there like maybe 5:45. By 6, they allowed us into the reception to his office. He came in around maybe just a few minutes before 6. He jogged in, as a matter of fact. He didn't drive in. He jogged from home to the workplace. He was still in like sportswear and everything. And then he just sat us down. Hello, how are you? And the next night, how are you, Mr. Allah? How are you? 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 How are you, Mr.? How are you, Mr.? How are you, Mr.? And he greeted all of us with Mr. with respect. And then I felt good. I felt like this is a billionaire. This guy was a billionaire calling me a Mr. at my age. I felt some form of self-esteem. My self-esteem was built up. I felt some level of confidence. And up to today, that confidence still applies in everything I do. At that young age, I felt good that I was in the same room with a billionaire to strike a deal, to propose a deal that I championed in the same office with a billionaire calling me Mr. It felt good, man. How many of my mates then as teenagers were talking such? Very few. Very few. So when you achieve things, when you achieve things like that, it gives you some level of self-confidence. It boosts your morale. It lets you know that the next step. But then a few moments later, by the time it was done with our documents, capturing what we brought, where's your cash flow? Where's your this document? Where's your by the time you're finished with us that day, the confidence went shoo. As we're about to leave, he now told us, he said, I believe in you guys. I believe you can get it right. I'm very, what was the word? It was very surprised at our age and that we could be that bold to walk into, to call him up. Billionaire, man. I kid you guys not. For some of you, if you can just think about it, I don't want to mention him, but it was an indigenous oil company. He's late now. He's passed away now. And he just told us, he said, go and tidy up your documents and come back to me in about 2 months. Call me. I'll be willing to look at it again. We went back. That was when we called up our friend. So connection again. One of our friends that was chartered as at that time was chartered. He was in University of Lagos. We called him up. Yeah, okay. See all the loopholes that they showed us. Cash flow document, this, that. Then we put all that together, and then so it was over a period of these meetings went on for almost a year. At times we will meet with him twice in a week. It will take us through things. He was training us, he was grooming us, he was teaching us, he was showing us what we can do, that this can be more, that this relationship can be more than you just getting these millions from me, that you can be more. I can teach you, I can mentor you. And that was what he became to me. And that was what he became to me. A few months down the line, we sat down in the same room and he handed over the first, he handed over the intentions of that meeting was to hand over the first installment of the multi-millions for that project. And that was how I actually struck that deal. That was how I actually struck that deal. Now, there were rooms, there were no room for me to please drop a super chat, drop a super sticker, subscribe before you leave. So I'm going to share with you some things that I did, some steps, some things that you need to have. If you're going to be able to make money and do crazy things, crazy success, there's some things that I look back now and I saw that I had in me, I still have in me that some steps you need to take. The first one is consistency. You need to be consistent. We were consistent. I would call and call. At times I would call and no, I won't get through the PCNL and Telepoint phone booths back then. If you know Telepoint phone booths, if you're in Nigeria, please drop a high, drop a tom, drop a tom. If you know Tom PCNL and Telepoint phone booths, you are a general. General. Bah. Yes, that's who you are. I will call, I will wait on the queue to call him. I would call, I will wait on the queue. So we're consistent. We never gave up. We'll never give up, even when the meetings will go on, and there was no sign of when the funds will come out and all that. We were consistent. I was consistent. The second thing was that I was bold. And notice, if you're going to do well in anything, this YouTube that you're watching live now, YouTube as itself, any social media platform, if you're going to do well in it, consistency is key. You must also be consistent, even if it's once a week, consistent. If it's twice, if it's once a day, consistent. You must be consistent. The second thing that I had then was that I was bold. I was bold as a 19 going on 20-year. I was bold. Nothing could deter me. I was bold to step into any room. I was bold to talk to anyone. I was bold to speak my piece, to let people know that, hey, this is what I want to achieve. Are you coming on this race with me? I was so bold. I was bold. There were things I did then, and I'm like, hey, how could you have done this? I would travel for meetings. I would travel for meetings. At times, my parents would not be aware of it. I would travel for meetings. I would travel to negotiate business deals. I was bold. I was so bold. I set up a gospel record label at a very young age. Did super well with it. Did super well with it. I was so bold to explore. I was not afraid. So you need to be bold. If you're going to make such kind of money at a young age, or maybe you're even older now, you need to you want to start something new. You need boldness. The third was that I was so hardworking. You need to be hardworking. I was hardworking. I mean, we will go from the hinterlands of Lagos to Ikeja. Then we will now plan a meeting. We'll walk over till maybe 12 a.m., 1 a.m., planning what we're going to present at that meeting. And then by 4 a.m., we are off to Victoria Island. And then we get back after the meeting with the president. We'll get back, we'll go back to the office, we'll plan. We'll be at the same time, we're negotiating with actors, we're negotiating with crewmen, we're doing all that. So I was so hardworking, hardworking. The fourth is that I was honest. I was honest. Even when it came to a point where myself and some of my partners, we had to check what we really wanted to do. I was very honest with everybody. I was honest with the president. I was honest when I accepted Christ. When I accepted Christ, so I wasn't born again when I started this conversation of this deal. So when I accepted Christ, some things were no longer acceptable for me. Some lifestyle of some people and all that. Some things were had just changed in me. So I was really honest with everybody. I was honest about my stand, about my position, about the partnership, about the deal. I was very honest and straightforward. I didn't cut corners with anyone. So I was very honest. As a matter of fact, because I was so honest, the president promised me that any deal I wanted to do, I should just walk into his doors. He said he sponsored my first studio album, my first studio album that was produced by the late OJB Jezreel. It was a Christian rap album. He sponsored that album. He said anything that I was going to do, I should have. He has not seen a man so honest. So if you are looking for someone honest to give a deal or to let you do something, you've met him here. I was so honest. I was so honest. Yeah. And I'm still honest. Yeah. Yeah. The fifth thing, I'm on number five now. The fifth thing that you need to do, the winning steps that you need to have to be able to achieve such and, make your millions is that you need to be a team leader. I was the youngest, but I was a team leader. You need to be a team leader. You need to be able to tell your team that this is possible. You need to be able to sit your team down and say, hey, 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 we are dulling now, we are sleeping. There has to be someone that will say, hey, guys, don't give up. At the point my partner gave up, he wasn't coming for the meetings again. Yeah, he traveled out of Lagos. He gave up, but I stayed there. So you must be the team leader. You must be a team leader. You must be able to lead a team if you're going to achieve this kind of stuff, at a young age. If you're a young man, you're a teenager watching this, or maybe you're even old and you want to like change levels, or maybe you want to start new things. You need to be a team leader because you need to get people to be on your team. Number six, yes, number six, I was relentless. I never give up. I was relentless. So no, if you're gonna be a young multi-millionaire, a young millionaire, or even an old millionaire, whichever millionaire, you must be relentless. So things will try you. You guys saw Femi Otedola's book that he wrote and all that, and the challenges he faced. No, any rich man will tell you that you must be relentless to strike that deal, to strike that multi-million deal, 10 million, 20 million, 50 million, 100 million. You must be relentless. You must be relentless. I mean, the value of the millions that this deal was worth right now is almost about half a billion now. The value of the naira, if you converted it to dollars, then and you now bring it to the value of that dollars in naira now, almost about 500 million. That's what we're talking about. That a 19-year-old was sitting on top of. Yes, yeah, yeah. So I was relentless. I never gave up. I never gave up. I kept at it. I kept at it that this must work. This must happen. So never give up. You must be relentless. And finally, number seven, you must be willing to learn. You must be willing to learn and unlearn. I told you guys that at the first meeting, the president of the oil company shut down our ideas. He shut down all the processes, the budget we came with, everything. He scattered it for us. That what is this? In fact, our heart fell into our mouth. But he now told us that go back, go and prepare well. I know you guys have the fire. Go and prepare well, go and learn. And we went back and learn we did. Learn we did. By the time we came back with the next proposal, the next budget, and all everything on point. So you must be willing. Oh, I know it all. No, you can't be that. You can't be successful when you think you know it all. No, you must be willing to learn from others. You must be willing to learn from your friends. You must be willing to and then as an extra, networking. This whole thing started, this whole deal started because of networking. I wrote an article in a newspaper. My friend came to my house. I showed him the article in Vanguard. He was tripped by the fact that I could write so well. He told me a story he had in mind. I finished writing the movie from the story within 2 weeks. And then we had a friend of ours who was a nephew, a cousin to Amakaigwe, the late Amakaigwe, and we use that connection to connect and get the great director to be the director of the movie, to agree to be the director of the movie. And then we needed a sponsor. We had a friend who was he has a cleaning agent, and he has several companies in VI that I was cleaning for. And he suggested about 6 names to us, some of his clients, the owners of the businesses that he feels they are philanthropists, they want to help, they want to be part of something that has a good cause like this. And that was it. So network, see how the networking went. It was about networking. You can't be by yourself, be an island and say you want to do great things. You want to, you don't know, no. You need to network. Even Mark Zuckerberg, he had to network with his roommates. He had to connect. He had to go see people. He had to go to clubs. He had to go. So networking is so key. You cannot just stay by yourself and be successful. Now I'm talking to you guys. Some of you have been on this with me from the beginning. Some of you have been on and off. It's networking. We're getting to know ourselves. You're getting to know me. That's why when I see your names on the chat, I call your name. Because I want this to be like a family, like where we can learn, where we can at some point I'm going to just have videos around the house. You'll even get to see what's happening with my kids, get to see what's happening at work, at times when I go to church. That's networking. I'm networking with you guys. You're finding out more about me. You're finding out how I can help you. I'm finding out from you when you chat me also how you can be part of this community. So don't hold back. Don't be by yourself. You can't succeed as an island. Network. Decide that someone is going to know about you or your business every day. You know what? When you don't network, you know what they are doing? You are blinking in the dark. You have a good product, but no one is seeing it. You are blinking in the dark. No matter how I blink in the dark, you guys can't see it. If I put off this light now, like the light went off the other time, and I keep blinking, no one will see it. But I'm taking action, but no one is seeing it. When you have a great product, a great idea, and you're not networking, you're not telling people, you're not finding out who can be part of it, you're not finding out how you can make it better, how you can scale it up. You are like that person that is in the dark and you are blinking. So networking is so important. So that's a bonus for you. And also finally, get close to God. Know God. Know God. Just start your day with God. Start your day. Start your day with God. Declare greatness into your day. Start your day with God. Start your day with God. I hope this has blessed you guys like I thought it would. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry I had to touch that. I'm sorry I touched the mic. I hope this has been an informative and educative session like I thought it would. I really wanted it to be like maybe a chill thing, but as I started speaking, I knew I had to like put some energy and let the points sink in. But truly, these are the traits that I had that made that deal possible. Nothing else. These are just the traits I had that made that deal possible. That's how I struck my first multi-million naira deal by being consistent, by being bold, by being hardworking, by being honest, by being a team leader, by never giving up, being relentless, and by being someone that network. So let me hear from you guys. Let me hear which of these are you struggling with. I would like to hear from you which of these, so I can maybe advise before we close this live for tonight. Is there any one of this that you are having a challenge with? Maybe it's hard for you to stay consistent at something. Maybe you find it hard to stay consistent at anything. You start one thing and then you are an estate manager at the beginning of the month. By September, you are an engineer. By November, you're an Uber driver. By December, you are learning tech, you are learning IT. You're not consistent at anything. You're not consistent at anything. At the point in life, I had to tell myself that I want to be consistent at my YouTube. That I want to just give some attention to my YouTube. And doing that has produced some level of results that I could not have had if I didn't give time and attention to so do you have an issue with being consistent? I want to hear from you. Uh, do you get afraid? The Bible says God has not given us a spirit of fear or timidity, but of love, of power, and of a sound mind. Do you get afraid, or you are bold? Let me know. Let me know. These are steps I took. I became so bold. So are you someone? If you are struggling with being bold, it will be hard to call in the millions. It will be hard. Look at any millionaire around you. There are people that take bold steps. So you must wake up and say, hey, I need to do something new every day. I need to dare where I've never dared before. That your business that is being in a shop, you can decide that you want to take it worldwide. That you want to take it worldwide. You can decide that you're going to be sending messages to celebrities all across Europe, all across. They're going to be sending them messages and believing that they will reply about your brand, about what you can do, about that your fashion brand. So boldness, boldness. You can't afford to be lazy. You can't want to make millions and you're a lazy person. No, no. Even when the millions come, you squander it. So I was very hardworking. I was not lazy. I was hardworking. That's why that at today's rate, that money then was half a billion, about 550 million, considering today's rates. We're talking of 99, 2000. So it was you know, about that amount. So um, yeah, so I was hardworking and I was so honest. I was so honest. The honesty endeared me to the sponsors, the investors. The honesty endeared me to them. I kid you guys not. One of the greatest loss I've had is the passing away of my mentor and investor, the man, the president of the Hoy company. We lost him to cancer some years back, several years back, and it was a great blow to me because he was such an amazing mentor. He taught me to be punctual. So when I get to meetings now and people are late, I'm wondering how hard is it to be punctual? This was a man that was a billionaire and he would fix meetings for 5:30, for 6 a.m. in the morning in his office in VI then. So he taught me to be punctual, and my honesty endeared me to him. So be honest. People will see through it. Be honest. Be honest in your dealings. Be honest in your dealings. Learn to lead a team. Learn to lead a team. The more people you can lead, the more hours you have. Let me explain this to you. We always say everyone has 24 hours, right? You say everyone has 24 hours, but everyone does not really have 24 hours. Bill Gates has more than 24 hours. Think about it. He has 24 hours personally, but he has several people he has employed that is using their own 24 hours to achieve his goal. So the more you can lead people, the more you can get people to be part of your vision. You are using part of their hours. They are committing part of their hours. Some of them are going to be employed, they'll be in your staff. They are committing their hours to your goal. So you must learn to lead a team. If you're going to go far, you must learn to lead a team. You must be a leader that people are endeared to. You must be a leader that people are endeared to. I was leading an amazing team at that age. Everyone on the team older than me. Everyone, director, older than me. Cinematographer, far older than me. My partner, older than me. Everyone I was the youngster, yet I was the leader of that vision. I was the leader of that production. So yes, yeah, learn to lead a team. Don't give up. Don't give up. Are you watching me right now? Maybe you're watching later, and you just tend to want to give up. You just tend to want to give up. If you're just coming, just joining. If this is what you take from this video, don't be someone that gives up along the way. Don't look back. Don't turn back. Don't give up. Don't give up. Believe in the vision. Don't give up. You have loopholes, you have walls, jump over them. You have holes, leap over them. But don't give up. Don't give up on your dream. Be relentless. Never give up. Never give up. That song says, I will never give up. Oh, no, no. Don't too late. Oh, no, no. Not going to. No. Where am I going to? No, no. I'll never give up. Oh, no, no turning back. Don't turn back. Don't give up. Never go back. Never go back. Never go back. I'm waiting to hear from some of you. Maybe you are in a situation now where you've turned back from that project, where you've turned back from that vision, you've turned back from that course. You were taking a course and it became very difficult, and you just dropped it and say, hey, school is not for me. School is for you. Don't give up. You can't achieve what I achieved at 19 if you are someone that gives up. You will get into your 50s and 60s and you will still be stuck at the same level. So you must be someone that does not give up and then be willing to learn from others. You can't know it all. You can't know it all, my dears. Be willing to learn from others. Be willing to learn from others. Be willing to hear what others have to say. I was always willing to learn. I was always willing, at that age, I was always willing to learn, always going for every course I can, always going for every lecture, always being around Amakaigwe Studios. I was always willing to learn. If they have a production, I want to jump on it. I want to be there. I'm always asking, always willing to learn. Willing to learn. Willing to learn. I had an amazing when I got into University of Lagos at my 100 level because I had a lot of fine arts friends in Yaba Tech then. I learned so much from them. I had an amazing art exhibition at 100 level, year one. Amazing art exhibition. And hundreds of thousands of naira as at that time. As at that time. That's millions here in the school as a year one student. Why? Because I had learned from my friends that were into art. I connected with them. I knew their gifts. So I just put them together. Team leadership. I put them together, their skills, their gifts. I came up with an idea, different world. We called it different world then. And we had an amazing exhibition in the school. So always willing to learn. Team leadership. Always willing to learn. Team leadership. And finally, networking. Networking. And I'll end it here tonight. I'll end it here tonight. Networking. Networking made everything possible. I'm going to repeat it again. Don't be afraid to network. Don't be afraid to tell people your name. As simple as the church you attend, meet someone before you go home every Sunday. Eh? Yeah, some of you, I know you, I can see you. You just go to church and come back home. Network. You don't want to stay where you are forever. So network. Network. Networking. Check who's achieved anything in history, in the Bible, anywhere without networking, without people. Who? Even with AI that we're talking about now, it's still people that will program the AI. So you must network. Go out on Saturdays. Go to places. Go to events. Maybe that's where an old friend will meet you and say, "Yeah, William, you mean you're in this city, you're in this town? Come over to my office tomorrow. I'm so excited." But when you are in your house all the time in the room, where would they see you? Network. You're a YouTuber, jump on live tomorrow morning. Talk to people. Network. Create content. Go to content meetings. Go to content meetings. Go to meetings where you meet people of like minds. Go to meetings where you meet people of unlike minds. Go to business meetings. Network. Let people know hear your voice and know what you stand for. Yeah, yeah. If my friend had not come around to my house, if I had not networked by writing that article, it was later then. It was later. There was no email. I wrote a letter and I sent it to Vanguard's office, PMB, post mailbox. For those of you that remember post mailbox, PMB. I sent it to their office, and some weeks later, they put it there in their magazine for 2 Sundays or 2 Saturdays running. I can't remember, but I knew it was in two. It was part one, part two. So they put it in their newspaper. And then my friend came to, that was networking. That was me. My name was right there as a writer and all that. Then my friend came, I showed it to him in excitement. And then boom, he came up with the idea of shooting the movie that they had a script. And the rest was history. Networking. Networking. Let people know your gift. Be bold about your gift, man. You hear me? Be bold about your gift, man. Stop being shy about it. Don't be apologetic about it. Use it and let people see you. Use it. If you're great at singing, get on TikTok. Get on TikTok network. Sing. You were good, you were kind, you were more than this. Lost for words, trying to describe you. Sing from your singing. People that God has sent to you, people that you network with, people will discover you. Network. Don't give up on God because He won't give up on you. That's what that song said. Don't give up on God because He won't give up on you. He's able. Network with people. Don't give up on life. God is not done with you. Network with people. Meet people. Meet with people in your church. Meet people on the road. Get to know people at your mall. Tell people what you do. Drop what you do on your WhatsApp status. Share what you do. Make the world better with your gift. And then watch what God will do in your life. Those were the things I did, oh. Those were the things I did that got me my first multi-million naira deal. Yes. And I hope you all have enjoyed this live today. I'm super excited as we're bringing it to a close. What can I say to round this up? What can I say that I've not said in this video so far to round it up that would just sink in with you guys? With you guys. Yeah, in the process, in your success journey, try as much as possible to stay positive, avoid bad influence, because bad influence and success, they're like one on one, alcohol, women, you know, with success, those things start coming up. And also in that journey, as much as possible, be disciplined, and don't let those things mess you up. Drugs, all those stuffs that will come along with success, women, and all. I'll leave you with that. Don't let them mess you up. Be smart. Use your hand. Use your head. Use your head. Be smart. Be smart. Just be smart. Use the brain and just avoid getting yourself in trouble. Avoid getting yourself in trouble. You see footballers that are successful, people will say that people start laying allegations that they raped them. And some of these allegations are not true, but because of the company they keep and all. So yeah, on your success journey, be very smart with your dealings so that you won't get involved in things that can ruin the journey. Things like drugs, things like excessive women, things like alcohol, excessive alcohol that can affect the kidneys. In your success journey, just plan to live long. Plan to live long. Exercise. Exercise. That's one area I'm defaulting now, but I try to do like once or twice a week. I wanted to be exercising every day, but because I used to consistently exercise, I'm still able to do my sit-ups. I'm still able to do my push-ups, even if I don't do it for 1 month. Once I just get to the gym, my organs, my systems, my bones, they're already used to it. So even when I go straight up my sit-up, I just do it, no issues at all. So I can imagine some of you that you've never done a sit-up in your life before. Where do you want to start now? The waist won't even lift up. The waist no go agree. The waist will not agree to lift up. So for find a way around that, even if it's just jumping jacks, maybe you could do just keep fit so that you can spend your money for long. Keep fit for your family. Keep fit for your children. Keep fit. Yeah, and I leave you with that. Subscribe before you leave. It's been an amazing, amazing one. Go back and watch. I shared the exact story, the true life story. It's a true life story, not cooked up. True life story of yours truly, me Gong Gong. True life story of yours truly on how I struck and won my first multi-million naira deal with receipts. I gave receipts. I didn't want to mention too many names, but I gave as much receipts as possible, timestamps and stuff like that. And from there, I now took some steps I took, some character traits I had that made that possible. And I shared that with you and how you can apply the same thing wherever you are right now. You can teach your children, you can teach yourself, and you can just make sure you can do a check, do a check that, hey, like an audit, a self audit. You do a self audit of yourself and say, these steps that Rashid has shared, that these character traits that made this possible for him, how strong am I in each one of them? You rate yourself 1 to 10. How strong am I in each one of them? You rate yourself 1 to 10. How strong am I in being consistency, in boldness, 2, in hard work, being hardworking, 3, in honesty, in being honest, integrity, 4, as a team leader, how strong am I? 1 to 10. How strong am I as a team leader? That's 5. In being relentless, how you rate yourself 1 to 10. How relentless am I? Do I give up at every small challenge? How do I stay on it and say, I'm not giving up? Number 7, in being willing to learn. Am I Mr. Know It All? I know everything. You rate yourself 1 to 10. So you can know the areas you need to build up. And finally, number 8, ability to network. Do I just stay indoors all the time, or I'm someone that goes out, I get to meet people, I tell people what I do. So you rate yourself in those areas, and then you know the areas where you need to develop strength. Please subscribe to the channel before you leave. And I believe this has really blessed us tonight. My name is Rashid. Thank you for joining the live tonight. I need to get and jump into some meetings right now. God bless you. Thank you. Subscribe. Get a super chat if you can. Can someone drop a super chat for me right now? get a super chat, get a super sticker, get a super sticker right now before I leave. I'm doing that. Like, is anyone gonna do that? Is anyone gonna do that right now? Can we just like Ali, can you just drop a super sticker or super chat for your homeboy right now? Drop a super sticker or your super chat for your homeboy right now. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. YouTube is an amazing place. It's an amazing place. A land of opportunities. A land of opportunities. And one of the things I really want to be able to do, of course, from this age and even onward, is what I'm doing right now. An opportunity to influence people positively, teach the right values, speak to wrong, speak to evil, speak against evil, speak to the right things to the hearts of people, be a model for young people to know that they can do the right things and be rich. I just shared the age I was now. There was no tech, there was no internet, there was no Instagram, and I was able to achieve that at a young age of 19, knocking on 20. So imagine lots of teenagers watching this. They will know that, hey, I don't need to do drugs to be rich. I don't need to do bad, terrible stuff to be rich. I can be clean. I can do great stuff. I can have this 8 amazing traits and then, discover my gift, provide a solution to society, and become so stinkingly rich. Yeah. Thank you. Subscribe before you leave. God bless you and have an amazing night. Stay them TV people. Yeah, bye now. Good night.